Hello, hello. Hey, welcome. Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are. My name is Axel. Welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I'm working on a lot of projects right now, so I'm really busy. Super busy right now. But anyways, I'm here. I'm here to play the crossword with you guys. Do the crossword, I should say. We don't say play the crossword, we say do the crossword in English. We also don't say make a crossword, but do a crossword, as in finish, complete a crossword like any other task. Anyways, we're going to be doing this crossword today, and I know that I didn't play the little video because I was busy. But as usual, we are going to go through this together. I'm going to direct the conversation. I'm going to let you know which questions we're going to work on when. So it's going to be really important for you to follow along. So don't jump ahead. Stay with me, pretty please. Hey, welcome, Tans. Good to see you. Welcome, Art. Steven, welcome. Awesome. Yeah. So we're gonna go through. I'm gonna give you guys lots of little hints, clues, additional information to help you figure out what the answer is along with me. If you think you know what an answer is, put it in the chat. I'm live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Hello, Sword. Good to see you. Yeah, so live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. The best place to play is YouTube. So it seems that a little bit quicker there, less delay. So you are welcome to play in the other places too, but YouTube is where it's at. YouTube is where it's at. So yeah. So I did look at this earlier today while I was getting ready. I think it should be pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. Hey, Jacqueline, it's good to see you. It's so great to see so many people in the chat. That makes me so happy. So happy, because I actually almost even, because I'm so busy right now, I almost didn't do this. So great. It's great to see so many people out today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so, and also too, so just as a reminder, again, please follow me, alright? Let's not jump ahead and talk about questions we haven't discussed yet. So if we all stay on task, if we all stay together, that's gonna be really helpful. Alright, so, yeah. Alright, so let's just get right to it. We have bewildered and we have gorillas. I think this one's gonna be pretty easy for us to do. Gorillas. We're looking for basically what are gorillas? Like what the type I hope some words you've never seen before. Yeah, I hope you discover some new words too. I know sometimes there are a lot of new words and then other times there are not new words. I have a funny feeling that these words we should all know for the most part. Oh, there's a lot of African capitals in here. So, you want to think about African geography. There's a lot of capital cities in here. But apes, exactly. Apes is going to be what we're looking for. So gorillas. I feel like I should share a picture. I'm so laggy. Because I have like so many things open. I have so many things open in the background today because I was working on a lot of things. But just so we're all on the same page, exactly, gorillas are a type of ape. Ape is going to be our answer. This is a gorilla. Just so we all know. Apes, exactly. They're a type of ape. Alright, perfect. So bewildered. I'm not going to do that one. Sufficient! Synonym for sufficient. What does it mean if something is sufficient? Basically means that you have everything you need. Something is sufficient. You know, it's good, but not too good, right? But also you're not lacking anything. So, looking for a synonym, basically. It starts with an E, obviously. For sufficient. And that is 3 down, by the way, I should say. I'll try to call them out. We're doing 3 down right now. Because I know sometimes I can be kind of bad at that. But 3 down. So, sufficient. So, if you think you know a synonym for sufficient, you know, we have everything we need, but we don't have more than we need. For example, we also don't have less than we need. Basically, we have kind of like the perfect ideal amount here, right? Enough. Exactly. Perfect. So let's put that in here. So I got enough. All right. Perfect. 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 I like this one actually. So junior to senior. You know, we often hear, I know sometimes you might hear these words getting thrown around in the workplace, for example. You might have people who work in a junior, sort of a lower position, and a senior, somebody who's been there for a really long time. But these are actually originally words that we use to talk about families. So, for example, sort of the oldest person, sort of an older person in the family, versus a younger person in the family. So we're basically looking for a name for sort of like a younger member of the family here. So if senior, if we were thinking of maybe like, usually like a father, for example. So sort of that, sort of that relationship. So if you think you know what that one might be? Son, exactly. Yeah, so junior is gonna be the son. So let's put like son in there, and then senior is usually gonna be the father. So let's pop that in here. Put it in there. Sculpting medium choir member. You know what I think this one is? So choir, these are people that sing, right? A group of people that sing together. And there are different people with different vocal ranges. We would say like a range, as in some people can sing very high notes. Some people kind of sing sort of high, but not too high. Other people maybe sing really low. And I think we're looking for the name of a person who would sing at a low range here. So they have a very low vocal range. Tenor, exactly. Yeah, I think this one is going to be a tenor. Exactly. They're very, very low. Perfect. Great job. So I'm going to put that in here. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, great job. And this one here, sculpting medium, to sculpt. Talking about creating art here, right? You sculpt something, maybe you take something solid and then you kind of either chip away at it, or maybe you maybe like clay, for example, you would model it, you create it, make something out of it. And the medium here, this is basically the stuff that you use to make art. So for example, if you're a painter, painting mediums might include like oil paint or watercolor, acrylic, drawing medium, for example, charcoal, pen, or ink, I should say, pencil. But here we're looking for something you would use to sculpt with. So something we are going to make sculptures out of. Something we're gonna make sculptures out of. Exactly, I think stone. Stone is gonna be our answer here. Let's pop that right in here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Do any of you guys do art by chance? Well, art graphic, you probably do some stuff for sure. Just wondering if you have a favorite medium that you like to work with. Or what is your favorite medium? Anyways, so put in the chat if you happen to make art or anything like that. It'd be interesting to know your favorite medium to work with. This is French. So we're looking for the French word for water. French word for water. I think somebody might know what this one is. So French word for water, the Seine. I think I said that wrong. The Seine. Oh, the Seine. And potpourri bits. So potpourri is this very fragrant, it's like this fragrant collection of stuff. Fragrant as in it smells, has a very strong perfumey smell. So something that is fragrant, has a very strong smell, like perfume, for example. And this is potpourri. You can see it's like a mixture of all of these different things. And we have the word for water. I'm gonna put it in here. There we go. So now we have a little bit more information here. Yeah, so we have here potpourri, all these little bits and bobs of whatever these things might be. I have an idea of what we might call all of these things in here. Let me know. They're basically essentially pieces of flour. These are pieces of flowers. Pieces of flowers that are then put together in this mixture, and they have this very, very strong, very fragrant, nice smell. Petals, exactly. Petals are going to be our potpourri bit here. So let's pop that in here. Awesome. Oops, there we go. All right, we're doing great. I love when this goes fast. I like it so much. All right, down your answer. Plus down or across. Yeah, I haven't been writing. I don't like to type. Down your answer. I mean, I think we're okay. I think we know as a group what we're working on. As long as we stay together, we will know. We should know what we're working on. So I think we'll be okay. Let's see here. 20 across, though. I'll try to remember to throw them out there. 20 across. Exhibits. So, sometimes exhibit can be a noun. Oh, I guess this could also be a noun, though. I'm thinking that this is a verb, but this could also be a noun as well. But to, like, if you exhibit something, you know, maybe you, like, display something, basically, right? You think of like maybe an art exhibit, for example, or an exhibit at a museum, right? These are basically almost like displays of things where you can go and you can see things, right? So or so yeah, so basically looking for another synonym for this. Shows, exactly, I think is going to be our word. Exactly. So you could either like exhibit or show something, so as like a verb, or we could also call, you know, art shows. We wouldn't say history, like museum shows, but definitely art shows, like an art show, for example, an art exhibit. That might be a synonym. So let's pop shows in there. All right. And let me think just for a second what we're gonna do next. So many African capitals in here today. Actually, let's do, like, maybe let's just do this. Because I think we'll know this. This one, 17 across, an African capital. I think this one's in Morocco? No. Algeria? I think it's Algeria. Yes. Looking for a capital. The capital city about... I was thinking of a different city. But African capital city in Algeria. You happen to know what that one is. Algiers. Exactly. I was thinking like Tangiers, whatever. Yeah, Algiers. Just gonna pop that in there. All right, cool. Yeah, so many. Makes fresh. Let's do 10 down. 10 down. 10 down. So makes fresh. So we'll see, we have like, we're looking for verb in the, you know, the third person singular, right? But what does it mean? If something is fresh, it is like, it is recently done, right? Almost the opposite of old, right? So something fresh has been recently done. Basically, the opposite of old. So looking for maybe another verb that might kind of mean the same thing here. Renews, exactly. So let's pop that in here as well. Basically, right, anything with on it basically means to do it again, redo, renovate, restructure, review, look at again. So here, renews, basically to freshen up something, to redo something so it looks like it is new again. Awesome. Manual readers. What is a manual? It's like it's basically it's a book, right? Not always, but usually a book maybe has information about how something functions, right? A book about how something functions. So we're gonna stay with me. We're gonna do 22 across right now. 22 across right now. So I don't even want to think about ones that I haven't talked about yet. Okay? So we're gonna stay together as a group. Please and thank you. So manuals, but a book about how something functions. And then there are people that may consult those books. People who consult books about how to about how something functions, basically. Kind of hard to give a description without actually giving the word. But I had to think about like the people who maybe like do things with maybe machines or computers, things that might have manuals, basically. My mind, I think of like computers, basically, maybe things like that. If you have an idea, put it in the chat. There is a plural, so I'll put an S in here. So the type of people who might read a manual. Users, exactly. Users are going to be the people who are going to read manual to figure out how to use their devices. Something like that. So let's pop users in here. Great. Let's see what we got up here. I guess this one should be okay. 5 down. Rating unit. Usually a unit of something means like one thing of something, maybe one thing of a part of like a larger collection of things. But we're looking for something that we might use to rate something. So basically if we rate something, you know, to rate something means to evaluate maybe how good or bad something is, right? They'll rate movies, for example, or maybe books or something, right? Or maybe if you're in a competition, you will also get rated. Not necessarily rated, but you get some feedback about how good you are, right? So we're looking for a very common sort of thing that I think is used to do ratings. Common thing for especially online reviews. I see these used often in online reviews. So something often used in online reviews for ratings. Yeah, I see these all the time. All the time. I'm pulling up a review so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about, because I don't know if my description was really good. It's a little confusing because I think we'll think about it as like a group, like as a almost like a collective thing, but we're really looking for one, a singular star. Exactly. These stars often, you know, like it's rated like 4.5 out of 5 stars or something. So I think a star often used for reviews. It's 5 out of 5 stars. All right. So let's pop that in here. Pop that in here. Now we have a little bit of information for this one. We might be able to get this one. A sound that you would hear at a salon. What is a salon? A salon is a place where you go to get your, you know, your hair done, for example. So maybe like cut and colored, or maybe you would get like some sort of treatment, something like that. It's a place where like women in particular go to get their hair done, as opposed to a barber shop. That's where a man might go for like a get their hair done, but also a shave. Salon more for women. And there is a sound that's very common at the salon. Basically the sound that the scissors make when they are cutting. Oh, I can't spell at all. There we go. Wood cutting. So the scissors make wood cutting. It's a very distinct sound that they make. As they sort of like come together. Whatever that sound might be. The sound that scissors are going to make. Tricky one. Tricky. Snip! Exactly. And we could actually also, so like snip for the sound, right? We could also use this as a verb as well too, actually. So you can snip something with scissors, you know, you can snip off the end of something, so cut something off with scissors, for example. I typically use that as a phrasal verb. Snip is going to be our answer. Perfect. Let's do this one. Just fall asleep here. This is also a phrasal verb. Phrasal verb for falling asleep. Two words here. This is 6 down, by the way. 6 down. But a phrasal verb. That means to fall asleep. Basically. And the first part of this phrasal verb kind of has kind of refers like to the head almost. The motion with the head, if that helps. So the first part of this phrasal verb sort of refers to something the head does as we are falling asleep, maybe. Especially if you're falling asleep and you are sitting up, right? You may just kind of doze off, and then your head kind of goes down a little bit. So it kind of hints at that sort of that gesture almost that your head kind of does. But looking for two words here. Obviously. So a little phrasal verb. Nod off. Exactly. We're gonna nod off. Basically to fall asleep. Typically, if you nod off, you don't want to fall asleep. Also, it's like you're just doing it because you're so tired. You can't keep your can't keep awake. You can't keep your head up, basically, right? So you're nodding. That's sort of like that up and down motion that we might do with our head. This case, we're falling asleep. Probably we're sitting up or whatever, falling asleep. We're nodding off because we are so tired. All right, ready. This could be a new word. I mean, maybe not. This isn't a very common word. This actually might be a better word. An easier one for us to get collectively, I think, here. This 11 down, tag, sail, words. So the tag is a little piece of paper, often maybe a little piece of paper, a little card, right? That they will put on items for sale. I just want to make sure you see this. See this, right? Yes. Okay. So a little piece of paper, right? It's usually have the price on it or something like that. And then there is a phrase sometimes that might be on the tag. A phrase on a tag of a product that is for sale. That basically means you get what you get. There's nothing extra. If there's a problem with it, you can't change it. So if there's a problem, like you can't, like you have to accept it, or there's no extra things with it. Basically, you have to just accept the object the way it is, the way it is presented, as is, exactly. So as is. So let's put that in here. As is. Perfect, perfect. And let's do this one, actually. If we do this one, this will help us, I think, get this one. This will make this one a little clearer. Another African capital. Another African capital. Is this one Kenya? No, I'm not sure. Not sure which country this one is. Is it Nigeria? It's Kenya. I was right the first time. Capital of Kenya. Do you think you happen to know what that one is? Capital city of Kenya. So 15 across. Nairobi, exactly. Exactly. So let's pop that in here. And now I think we have enough information. We should be able to figure out this one. Looking for a phrase, 3 words here. Something we might say is something is going to happen shortly, very soon. So 7 down. Something, 3 words, a 3-word phrase we might use to say that something will happen very soon. It will happen very soon. Think you knew. So little phrase. I'll give you a hint. The first word is in. I'm gonna put that in here. So we have in something. Very short, brief period of time, basically. Or maybe you just have a guess as to what this might be. In a bit, exactly. Something's gonna happen in a bit means it's going to happen very soon from now. Exactly. So let's pop that right in here. So in a bit. All right, perfect. Perfect. this one, in shape. If we're in shape, I think we're talking about bodies here. To be in shape means that you are basically the opposite of being out of shape, being, you know, kind of maybe overweight and not very strong right here. On the other hand, 19 across. If we are in shape, we go to the gym for workout, we are going to be, whatever this word is here, be in shape, to basically to be very healthy and muscular and etc, to be fit. Exactly. Very healthy, in shape. All right. And let's just do this. Do this one. Another French word. Another French word. Because we also have this in English, but the spelling is a little bit different. But here, looking for the French word for essentially small, right? So, spelling a little teeny tiny different than how we would spell it in English, I think. Is that correct? Yes. Petite! Exactly, petite. Of course, in English, it would be petite, like that. That is how we would spell it. But the crossword loves to use foreign words sometimes. So, petite, there we go. I mean, sometimes we would also use this as well, too, in English, right? Sometimes we have, like, we'll use, like, little French words or words from other languages as well. Or little, like, key phrases. So, people would generally know what this means. So, all right. Here's a new one, Art. If you might know what this one is. Word for the back of a boat. The stern is the back of a boat. If you think you know what this one is, that's probably gonna be might be a new one. So the direction towards the back of a boat, 21 across. And then for the, you know, a little bit easier one, I think, for all of us to get. Memo letters. Memo as in like a memo, like a short note you might get at, you know, work maybe. Something like that. But a little like abbreviation we might see on a memo. A little yeah, abbreviation you may see on a memo, or maybe like an invitation. Very common to see this on an invitation. Basically means to please do something very soon. Basically doing something very soon. ASAP, exactly. ASAP. Some people may say ASAP. ASAP, ASAP, as soon as possible. And towards the stern, towards the back of the boat, that's going to be aft, the aft end of the boat. So we have aft towards the back of the stern being the back of the boat, the bow being the front of the boat, the stern being the back. And ASAP going to be our memo letters. All right. Cubs close. So we have Cubs close. 26 across. 26 across. There is an S here. I'll pop the F's in here. So another word for sort of like coming Coming close to something. But we also have this word here too, 16 down, which is kind of it's kind of an interesting word as well too. Word for basically collection of guns, bullets, all of that stuff. So we have nears, exactly. Nears here. And then this one here is 16 down. Basically a large collection of weapons, an arsenal. Exactly, arsenal. So that's an interest. I mean, I don't want to say it's a great word. Because I don't condone violence. Anyways, but yeah, great. Okay, let's see. What else are we gonna do here? Possesses. Synonym. Synonym for possesses. 24 across. If you possess something, that means that it's yours, right? To possess something means that it's yours. It's yours. So looking for like a, oops, it is yours. So just another, such a basic verb actually here. And we see it's been like conjugated third person, singular, right? Another verb we would use for this thing here. So so own. So yeah, you definitely would own something. We have to remember though, this is like it's conjugated though. So that would be owns. We want an S here. Put an S here. Put an S here. Definitely synonym though, in this case. You're gonna be like, when you see this one, you're gonna be like, because we're totally overthinking. This is very super basic. So we are doing 24 crossed. 24 crossed. 24 across. Has. It's gonna be has. You have something, you possess it. So conjugated, it's gonna be has, right? Is it funny? What else we got here? Let's just see what else is here. All right. Jazz instrument, 29 across. Jazz instrument, very classic jazz instrument. This is the the abbreviated form for a much longer word. Let's see if I can get one of these, a picture. You know what it is. Dun, 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 dun. Basically one of these guys. One instrument used in jazz, and this is short form of a longer word. Sax, exactly. Which is short for saxophone. Let's put sax in here. And maybe we can get this one now. This rough guesses here. Maybe, possibly. So if you take a rough guess at something, we're estimating something, right? And there's another word that we might use for talking about that, for saying you're going to make an estimate, basically. So estimates about something, maybe. Makes a very rough guess. Rough as in, like, kind of very general, right? And I'm thinking that there might be like a collocation in here, actually, that we like how we would say this. You can also make an attempt to do something too, sort of similarly, like making an attempt to do something. We would say like to take a whatever this is at something. At something. To take a at something. That one. Stabs, exactly. Stabs. If you take a stab at something, you make an attempt at it, basically. And we could also make an attempt at, you know, maybe guessing the right thing, for example. So we're gonna take a stab at something. Great little phrase there. Very informal, obviously, like a little idiom. But take a stab at something means that you give it a go. You try it. You're not sure if it's gonna work out or not. But that is how we can use it. Stab could also be like to basically like puncture something as well with a sharp object. That is the typical meaning of stab. But we can also use it this way as well. Alright, what else? Relaxing resorts. So again, I'm gonna pop an S in here. Place that we're gonna go. A resort is typically a place maybe by the ocean that you might go to on holiday, for example, right? And they, yeah, I don't know if like this answer is like, I wouldn't necessarily think that it always happens, would always be like by the ocean or whatever. But anyways, a place where we're gonna go to get some relaxation, maybe get a massage, maybe get a massage, or maybe like a facial, for example. The different things. Spas, exactly. We're gonna go to the spa. So let's pop that in here. All right, so we got that. Spas. Sty group. Sty. This one's often like an answer. Like sty here is often an answer in the crossword. Here it's being used as a in the question. 33 down. A group of things, a group of animals you might find in a sty. A sty is you would find in a barn. Something you'd find in a barn. And they're used to hold a specific type of animal. So if you remember what the sty is, not a very clean place. Not a very clean place. Sometimes we would use the word sty to refer to a very messy room, for example. And this place looks like a sty. Oops. It'd be like this place looks extremely messy, basically. Yeah, a pig sty. A sty is a place where you would have pigs. So exactly. So pigs are gonna be our sty group. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Swell. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see that, could you? The S. Alright, anyways. Here we go. To swell. If something swells, it gets big. So something swells, it gets kind of really big. So we might know this word. Maybe. I guess we'll see. Looking for another one. Basically a word that we might use is something is maybe like, if something is almost like, it's like puffing up. Like it puffs up. And it kind of like, almost like it sticks out. Yeah, it kind of like sticks out like a very like sticks out like a round shape, basically. Essentially. So, you know, something is kind of like swelling, you can think it's kind of like big, and then it like kind of sticks out. It kind of has like a round shape. We might use this for like if you were put a bunch of things in like maybe like overstuff a bag or something like that. You have like too many contents, and then it would kind of like everything would kind of like stick out, become a little bit rounded or something. We would use this word to kind of describe that. Bulge, exactly. Bulge. Bulge. Something kind of like overflowing, so kind of like bulging at the seams, about to burst. All right. Got that in here. And you know, this would be helpful. This other African capital, I believe this one is the capital city of Libya. Looking for that one. Use this word. Great. Yeah, it's not a bad word. Things that bulge, kind of like puff up, get really big and round. 32 crossed. African capital city of Libya. Tripoli, exactly. I like how you're always on it with the trivia. It's very helpful. I like that we have some trivia people. All right. So I know we said this before, but financially strapped, if you are strapped for cash, for example, it means you do not have enough money. Basically, you're running low on funds. Another collocation there, but strapped for cash, very informal way to say that you're low on funds. So another word that we might say, another phrase to be H-A-R something. P, basically to say that you are maybe poor almost. We might use that. Or you could also say that you are whatever for cash as well. We could also say if we want to like use like the whole phrase here. But whatever this one might be. Hard up! Exactly, hard up. And that is going to be two words there as well. Hard up, exactly. Hard up for cash means that you don't have, or hard up for money means that you don't have a lot. All right. We might know this one, 35 across. I think it's like it comes from Latin, but basically to make up lines. What do we mean lines? This is a reference to like theater, acting, right? So if you're an actor, you have to typically memorize your lines, right? But here we mean to make up something. To make up something, basically invent something on the spot, right? Spontaneously, right? Should I not spell it right? Spontaneously. So there's like this word, yeah. Ad lib, exactly. If you add two words, ad lib basically means that you are inventing your line. You're kind of improvising. You do something ad lib, you kind of just like do it randomly. Oh, ad lib. Kind of an interesting one. Great little word. Right, cool. I think this one's gonna be easiest one to get first, I think. Yeah, let's see this one. 34 across. 34 across. Looking for a word that we might use for an old soldier, maybe a retired soldier in particular, somebody who was a soldier. Or for high vocals. Yeah, you can definitely ad lib and things like that when you are singing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just like kind of, you can use it in other contexts too, to like ad lib something. But yeah, it's usually for like speaking, singing. An old soldier is going to be a vet, exactly, which is short for veteran. Sorry, veteran. There we go. Basically, a soldier, a retired soldier, basically, right? There you go. Vet. V-E-T. No. Right. So we've got a vet here. Perfect. And now I feel like we might have enough information to get this one. This 27 down, this deep chasm. What the heck is a chasm? A chasm is a very, it's like a very, short, very extremely deep, very narrow, kind of almost like a gap in a rock or something. See if I can't get a picture of what is something. I mean, you can kind of see in this picture here. We kind of have like this deep, almost like this gap here. So kind of looking for like another word where you would kind of like have like a very like sort of a deep gap with some water. I think it's usually a water as well. But be something. Should like look up the official definition of this word actually. A deep, narrow valley with steep sides. You always think that there's like water, but I guess not. It's just like the valley. But a deep, narrow valley. Very steep sides. Similar to a chasm as well. Chasm more like cracks in the cliffside or something like that. A ravine, exactly. Ravine. It's going to be our very, like very, very steep. I guess I'm thinking that there's like a river or something, because usually things are formed with water, right? But there we go. Ravine. Very sort of like steep, narrow little valley. Put that in here. Exactly. Alright. Yay. Alright. Cool. We're so on it today. That's really great. Super, super, super great. Reduced amount. Reduced amount. 41 across. 41 across. Reduced amount. So not as much as before, right? This is a word that we use when making comparisons. A word we use when making comparisons to indicate there is not as much as there, not as smooch, not as much as there was before. Reduced amount, 41 across. Good little comparison word. Less, exactly. Less we're gonna do. So let's do that. Perfect. Opposite of more, obviously. Less. Great, great, great. And I feel like we could probably get this one. I think they say that this is a travel aid, so something we might use if we are traveling. Probably not so much these days because we all have phones and GPS and this, that, and the other. But back in the day, you would actually have paper things, right, to help tell you where to go. And this, basically, a small book that is a collection of book. That's a collection of basically maps from around the world, basically. Remember one of those things. One of those books. You know, they have all like the different continents and the countries and all of that jazz. I don't know if that would really be like a travel aid so much, but an atlas, exactly, atlas collection, the book with all the different maps. Perfect. Let's pop that in. Let's see what else are we gonna get here. This one might be maybe a kind of funny one, maybe like a little bit of a tricky one. Sales pitch. So a sales pitch, you're pitching something, you pitch an idea, right? Or for sales, you're trying to convince somebody to sell something, right? So, or you would like sell an idea, pitch an idea, basically, right? And there's another word. Another word we might use also that kind of refers to like maybe like giving a talk, but you could also like not just use this word here, which is 36 across, by the way. This word here we could use for sales as well, but we could also use this for maybe just talking a bunch about something in order to maybe sell an idea or give some information or something like that. Yeah. Tricky. This might be a tricky one. Yeah. Could be a speech Especially one that is long and spoken quickly that is intended to persuade the person listening about something. A spiel. And notice how I say that. Because it looks like it is spiel. The spelling. Spelling looks like it says spiel, but it is actually an SH sound, which is weird. Thanks, English. It is spiel. 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 A sales spiel. Anyways, interesting word. So we can use it for a sales pitch as well, but, you know, I'm also giving a spiel right now about this word. Giving spiels about spiels. Yeah. Anyways. Interesting word. Interesting word. Interesting pronunciation on that one. Oh, but spiel. Exactly. What else do we have here? Cold showers. Cold showers. 28 down. This is a type of precipitation we might have in winter. You know, where it's not quite snow, not quite rain. Kind of like it's a cross between snow and rain. Definitely cold showers, I guess. If you think of like a shower. Another way to refer to like a, maybe like a short rainstorm, basically. But another type is precipitation that happens in winter. It's almost like partially melted snow, so it's a little bit more like rain. Sleet, exactly. Sleet is the name of that terrible phenomenon, that terrible type of precipitation. Sleet. For this word, never seen. Is that a new one for you? So we're not supposed to be using the internet, by the way. We're not supposed to be like looking these up. Just so you know. But sleet here. Actually, sleet was in here the other day. It also came up. So no, let's get a picture. Because there's a couple different types of precipitation. Because there's like that, and there's like freezing rain. There's hail. So many things. And I hate freezing rain. Anyways, I can't find what I want. That's fine. Let's just finish this. Let's just finish this. We've done such a great job. An annual visitor. Annual visitor. This is like for kids. Annual visitor. At least if you are if you're a Christian, or like, and I guess it's sort of like a Christian majority country, there is this guy, especially over here in North America, but I think it seems like it's getting popular everywhere else in the world too. A guy who brings presents to children in December. Looking for the name of that guy. Santa! Exactly. Santa is going to be our annual visitor. Something happens annually every year, right? So every year during Christmas. I don't know if we're going to know this one, but if you're negligent, kind of like you are, you're kind of like neglecting, negligent. You kind of see the word like neglect in here. I don't know if this is a word that might be more known to you guys, but if you neglect something, you basically almost like ignore your responsibility. So like to neglect something, to ignore like something, usually like a responsibility or something like that, or maybe something you're supposed to take care of, and then you are negligent. That is like the adjective here, meaning that you are somebody that neglects something. But I don't know if we're gonna know this word though. This 23 down. But basically it means that you've been careless. You've been careless and you just didn't do your, like, carry out your duties or your responsibilities well enough. So another adjective. R-E. Remiss, exactly. Yeah, this one is remiss. If you're remiss about something, you'd be like remiss in something. So here, for example, so you've been remiss in your duties, as in you have neglected to do your duties. You haven't done it. But this is actually probably almost like the more common way that I would hear people say that. They would be like, I would be remiss. It would be remiss of me, remiss to do something. You know, I'd be remiss to forget to give you the message or whatever. It was remiss of me to forget. Yeah, so as it was your responsibility and you didn't do it. All right, we're so close. So another African capital again, and or name of this guy, famous basketball player, who I believe he passed away in a plane accident, right? Is that right? Yes. So, basketball star, no longer with us, Bryant. Or this African capital. I will. Kampala. All right. COVID. Exactly. There we go. So we did it. Great job, guys. That was so fast too. I am so happy that we got through that really quickly. That was really amazing. So round of applause, everybody. You guys are on it today. So great. Really fantastic. It was so great to see so many people out too. Really appreciate everybody coming out. So I hope some people, or at least some people watch it and stuff like that, maybe like learn something today. That was really great. I hope you guys had a really good time as well too. Really appreciate your help. I always love doing this. I found it a lot of fun. So the next time that I will be here is on Friday. I'm going to be back on Friday at the same time. I know, wouldn't that be great? We have like some champagne to celebrate our crossword. I'll be back on Friday at the same time, 1300 UTC. It's going to be a little, probably maybe a little teeny tiny bit late, but I will be here. That is the plan. So I will see you guys all next time. I hope you guys all have a really good day. I hope we're finally getting some spring weather here. So it's finally happening. So I hope that it's nice wherever you are. Or maybe you're on the other side of the world and it's actually winter. But either way, I hope you guys have a really good day. And I will see you all on Friday. All right. Bye, everybody.